Hello, my name is Aniko. Welcome to my video. This lesson is the second part of a series on the verb to be lenni. In the first part, we took the first steps to get familiar with the verb to be. In case you haven't seen this part yet, you can still watch it. You will find the link in the description below. In this lesson, we will learn how to ask and answer the following questions. What's your name? What's your occupation? What's your nationality? I'm going to share my screen with you. We will also take a quick look at the basics of the Hungarian vowel harmony. Before we start with our topic, here is an activity for you. Let's review the conjugation with the personal pronouns. Do you remember how we say I am? Én vagyok. You are. Te vagy. She or he is. Ő van. You are when it is the formal use singular. Ön van. We are. Mi vagyunk. You are plural. Ti vagytok. They are. Ők vannak. You are when it is the formal you plural. Önök vannak. So once again, I am, én vagyok. You are, te vagy. He, she is, ő van. You are, when it is the formal use singular, ön van. We are, mi vagyunk. You are plural. Ti vagytok. They are, ők vannak. You are, when it is the formal you plural. Önök vannak. Great, let's move on. Let's see an example of a conversation. Firstly, only in Hungarian. After that, I will say both the English and the Hungarian sentences, and you can repeat the phrases after me. Jó napot kívánok! Jó napot kívánok! Hadd mutatkozzam be, Simon Csaba vagyok. Örvendek, a nevem Nagy János. Én is örvendek. Good afternoon. Jó napot kívánok. Repeat the sentence after me. Jó napot kívánok. Let me introduce myself. Hadd mutatkozzam be. Simon Csaba vagyok. I am Csaba Simon. Nice to meet you. Örvendek. My name is János Nagy. A nevem Nagy János. Én is örvendek. Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too. Én is örvendek. Great. Let's break the dialogue down into smaller pieces. Greeting. When meeting someone for the first time, firstly you need an appropriate greeting. For example, good afternoon, jó napot kívánok. Or good morning. Can you say good morning in Hungarian? jó reggelt, or jó reggelt kívánok. You can say jó reggelt usually until 8 or even until 9. Can you say good evening in Hungarian? Jó estét kívánok. After greeting, if you are the first who introduces themselves, you can continue politely with let me introduce myself, hadd mutatkozzam be. Or I would like to introduce myself. Do you remember how we can say I would like to introduce myself? Szeretnék bemutatkozni. Or can I introduce myself? Bemutatkozhatom? Bemutatkozhatom? These phrases can be used on formal occasions like a business meeting, or if you just meet someone for the first time and you want to be polite. If you introduce yourself first. However, if someone has already used this phrase and introduced themselves to you, it is unnecessary. After a polite greeting, you can continue with your name, like jó napot kívánok, Takács Zoltán vagyok. Let's move on. Giving your name. The order of the family name and first name is different in English and Hungarian. In Hungarian, the family name comes before the first name. My name's Zoltán Kovács. A nevem Kovács Zoltán. Another example, I am Zoltán Kovács. Kovács Zoltán vagyok. Please introduce yourself by using the phrases we have learned so far. Great! Örvendek. A nevem Anikó. Anikó vagyok. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you in Hungarian, örvendek. This is a pleasant way to greet someone when meeting for the first time. Besides örvendek, which is a formal and polite greeting, you also have some other options. For example, örülök, hogy megismerhetem. Repeat it after me. Örülök, hogy megismerhetem. It means in Hungarian, I am glad that I can get to know you. Or you can say, örülök a találkozásnak. Nice to meet you. Or you can say, nagyon örvendek. Nagyon örülök. Repeat it after me. Nagyon örvendek. Nagyon örülök. I am very glad. I am very happy. At the end of the conversation, you can say, örülök, hogy találkoztunk. Repeat it after me. Örülök, hogy találkoztunk. I am glad to have met you. Goodbye, viszontlátásra, or you can say viszlát. Great, let's move on. In this section, we will learn some essential questions and practice how to respond to them. Here is the first question. What is your name? If the question is formal, mi a neve? Mi az ön neve? Repeat it after me. Mi a neve? Mi az ön neve? If the question is informal, mi a neved? Mi a te neved? Mi a te neved? As you see, we don't always include personal pronouns in sentences. We mostly use them when we want to give an emphasis. And sometimes it just comes out naturally, and our speech is more natural when we use them. How we can answer the question, what is your name? Mi a neve? Mi az ön neve? When answering the question, what's your name, you have some options for giving an answer. We have already learned the following phrases. My name is, a nevem. For example, my name is Csaba Simon, a nevem Simon Csaba. I am, vagyok. I am Csaba Simon, Simon Csaba vagyok. There is also another way to ask for someone's name. Hogy hívják? What are you called? Hogy hívják önt? This is the formal question. Hogy hívnak téged? This is the informal question. If your name is Tom, you can say, Tomnak hívnak. I am called Tom. If your name is Eric, you can say, Eriknek hívnak. I am called Eric. In case you use this form of introduction, you have to add nak or nek to the end of your first name and use the verb hívnak. Let's take a closer look at this phrase. Firstly, you need your name. This is your first name, like Tom, Anna, Jessica, and so on. Then you have to add nak or nek to the end of your name. Which one you have to add depends on the vowel harmony of the name. That phrase is followed by hívnak. Nak is the back vowel form, nek is the front vowel form. Look at these examples. Nagy Zoltánnak hívnak. Zoltánnak hívnak. It means they call me Zoltán Nagy. Or Fehér Leventének hívnak. Leventének hívnak. It means they call me Levente Fehér. The whole sentences would look like ők engem Kovács Zoltánnak hívnak. Ők engem Fehér Leventének hívnak. Including engem could be an option. However, ők, they, is omitted in the sentence, so we leave it out. Here is an overview with all singular cases. Engem Zoltánnak hívnak. Téged Zoltánnak hívnak. Őt Zoltánnak hívják. Önt Zoltánnak hívják. So, I am called Zoltán. You are called Zoltán. He is called Zoltán. You are called Zoltán when we addressing someone formally. When using engem and téged, you need to say hívnak. When using őt and önt, you need to say hívják. Important grammar, vowel harmony. We can put suffixes appropriately to the names if we are familiar with the Hungarian vowel harmony. In this lesson, I won't go into a detailed explanation about the vowel harmony. However, we will take a look at the basics that is important to know. Hungarian vowels can be divided into two groups, back vowels and front vowels. Back vowels: O, A, O, O, U, U. The word auto can help you to memorize the back vowels. Front vowels: E, E, I, Ö, Ö, Ü, Ü. The word tenisütő can help you to memorize the back vowels. Words can be divided into three types according to the vowels they contain: front, back, and mixed. Front vowel words contain only front vowels. For example, 50, eszik, fehér. Back vowel words contain only back vowels. For example, asztal, ablak, hat, olvas. Mixed front and back vowels. For example, elephant, virág, terasz. Words with back vowels receive endings with a back vowel. Words with front vowels receive endings with a front vowel. Mixed words receive usually back vowel endings. Vowel harmony. If the name contains only front vowels, it takes the front vowel suffix. For example, Erzsébet, Erzsébetnek hívnak. If the name contains only back vowels, it takes the back vowel suffix. For example, Gábor, Gábornak hívnak. If the name contains both back and front, it usually takes the back vowel suffix. For example, Erika, Erikának hívnak. Note: if a name ends in A, it becomes A when receives an ending. Erika, Erikának. Nóra, Nórának. And if a name ends in E, it becomes A when receives an ending. For example, Bence, Bencének hívnak. Ede, Edének hívnak. To learn Hungarian vowel harmony is maybe one of the challenging parts of the language, but it gets easier with regular practice. Let's practice. Let's find out what ending you would add to the following names. For example, I am called Balázs. Balázsnak hívnak. Great. I am called Ferenc. Ferencnek hívnak. Henrik. Henriknek hívnak. Vilmos. Vilmosnak hívnak. Petra. Petrának hívnak. Pál. Pálnak hívnak. Ede. Edének hívnak. Great. So once again, Balázsnak, Ferencnek, Henriknek, Vilmosnak, Petrának, Pálnak, Edének hívnak. Good job. Here is the next question. What is your occupation? There are several options you can use to ask this question, both formally and informally. Formally, mi a foglalkozása? Repeat the phrases after me. Mi a foglalkozása? Mi a munkája? Mit dolgozik? Let's see the informal forms. Mi a foglalkozásod? Mi a foglalkozásod? Mi a munkád? Mi a munkád? Mit dolgozol? Mit dolgozol? Okay. Let's see how we can answer this question. If you watched the first part of this topic, you might remember how we talk about occupations and say, for example, I am an accountant in Hungarian. If you missed it, you can still watch it. You will find the link to the video in the description. Let's go back to the exercise. How would you say, I am an accountant? Könyvelő vagyok. Könyvelő vagyok. Here's the next question. How would you say, I am an assistant? I am an assistant. Asszisztens vagyok. Or you can say, ügyintéző vagyok. Here is another example. I am a teacher. Tanár vagyok. Tanár vagyok. So, as you see, this way we can use vagyok to give our occupation. It is very simple. Great. Let's learn another way to give your occupation. You could say, I work as an accountant. This is in Hungarian. Könyvelőként dolgozom. All you need to do is to attach ként to your job title. So let's take the next example. Asszisztens, ügyintéző. So I work as an assistant. Asszisztensként dolgozom. Ügyintézőként dolgozom. Repeat them after me. Asszisztensként dolgozom. Ügyintézőként dolgozom. Okay, let's practice. How would you say, I work as an actor? Színész. Színészként dolgozom. I work as a nurse. Ápolóként dolgozom, or you can say ápolónőként dolgozom. Pharmacist. Gyógyszerész. Gyógyszerészként dolgozom. Cook. Szakács. Szakácsként dolgozom. Accountant. Könyvelő. Könyvelőként dolgozom. So once again, színészként, ápolóként, gyógyszerészként, szakácsként, könyvelőként dolgozom. Let's move on. The next question is, what is your nationality? Let's see what options we have to ask this question. Formal. Milyen nemzetiségű ön? Ön milyen nemzetiségű? Informal. Milyen nemzetiségű vagy? Te milyen nemzetiségű vagy? How to say what your nationality is? You just need to say the nationality adjective and vagyok. There is a chance this type of question could be asked in an official situation. In real life, it is more likely that people ask you questions like, where are you from? Hova valósi vagy? Honnan jöttél? We will take a look at this question in another lesson. Nationalities. Let's learn some nationalities. Spanish. Spanyol. I am Spanish. Spanyol vagyok. Country. Spanyolország. You can repeat the phrases after me. Hungarian. Magyar. I am Hungarian. Magyar vagyok. Country. Magyarország. American. Amerikai. I am American. Amerikai vagyok. Amerikai Egyesült Államok. USA. Polish. Lengyel. I am Polish. Lengyel vagyok. Country. Lengyelország. French. Francia. I am French. Francia vagyok. Country. Franciaország. Let's practice. How would you say, I am German? Német vagyok. I am Italian. Olasz vagyok. I am American. Amerikai vagyok. I am French. Francia vagyok. I am Hungarian. Magyar vagyok. I am Spanish. Spanyol vagyok. I am Polish. Lengyel vagyok. Well done. We have arrived at the end of this lesson. Congratulations for completing this part. It is very important that you write down your own sentences and say them out loud. Make sentences that are relevant to you. Firstly, introduce yourself in a few sentences. Write down what is your name, what your name is, what your job is, what your nationality is. If you want to review the phrases, use the Quizlet study set I have created for you. And you have also a free PDF to download for this lesson. See you in the next lesson. Bye.